Senator Bernie Sanders put out a statement this weekend blaming the media as the main reason for why Americans don't know what's in the Build Back Better plan. At the top of the list is the reality that the mainstream media has done an exceptionally poor job in covering what actually is in the legislation, and very limited coverage as to what the provisions of the bill are and the crises for working people that they address. Sanders' complaint that the media focuses a lot on how much the bill will cost. It's just not true.
Oh, it's just not true? Let's take a look at some of the media coverage of the infrastructure bill.
Democrats now have a new $3.5 trillion spending plan.
Very long list of tax hikes to pay for President Biden's $3.5 trillion social spending plan.
$3.5 trillion spending package that Democrats in the House of Representatives want to move forward.
$3.5 trillion.
$3.5 trillion.
$3.5 trillion infrastructure plan.
President Biden's $3.5 trillion budget to expand the social safety net, setting the stage for a big legislative battle this fall.
The White House wants to broker a truce between feuding progressive and moderate Democrats.
Democrats introduced their $3.5 trillion budget bill, the start of a partisan process that could take months.
How big of a task it'll be for Democrats to make sure they have the votes in their own caucus to clear it in the House.
The question is how and when that vote is going to happen.
Press Secretary Jen Psaki fielding multiple questions today of why the administration needs to pass these packages now.
I'm Rayy Vana, and welcome back to Rebel HQ. Bernie Sanders' criticism of the media not giving coverage to what is actually in the reconciliation bill clearly got under the skin of this CNN host. And in this entire segment, she absolutely proved his point.
I mean, just looking at CNN, segment after segment about what is in the bill.
Not so fast, Brianna. Of the 12 news stories that you highlighted, only 3 of them actually deal with the substance of the bill. The remaining 9 are about the politics of passing the bill. Not one time in this entire segment does the CNN host actually discuss the substance of the infrastructure bill. Have a little bit of self-awareness, CNN.
In his statement, Sanders refers to how popular the policy provisions in the legislation are when Americans are polled about them.
And Bernie Sanders is right. 89% of Americans support expanding Medicare to cover hearing, dental, and vision. A majority of Americans support not only free public community colleges, but free college overall. Almost 70% of Americans support taking action to mitigate the effects of climate change. Oh, by the way, that's what's included in the reconciliation bill, because most mainstream media isn't telling you that. But credit where credit is due. One MSNBC host has been doing a fairly good job at covering the substance of the bill.
The human infrastructure bill would dramatically expand Medicare, provide funding for clean energy, universal pre-K, affordable childcare, paid family and medical leave. It would prohibit tax increases on people making under $400,000 a year.
Lastly, the CNN host claims that it's actually Bernie Sanders who isn't doing a good enough job informing the public of what's in the bill. And this claim is not grounded in any sort of reality.
This bill will substantially raise taxes on the richest people in this country and the largest corporations. Under the proposal we are bringing forth, no family in America would pay more than 7% of their income for childcare, universal pre-K, free tuition at public colleges and universities. We're the only country on earth that doesn't provide paid family and medical leave. We're going to end that. We are going to deal in the most aggressive way imaginable with the housing crisis. We are making the largest investment in this country's history in transforming our energy system away from fossil fuel to combat the existential threat of climate change.
At the end of the day, this is the media's job, and they shouldn't act so defensive when they're called out for not doing it.